Hello, everyone. Hello. So, um, yeah, let's see. Uh, this is kind of a sudden change to the schedule. We put a poll up on Twitter about this, and people were more interested in seeing another art stream, and we actually felt more like doing another art stream than we did otherwise. Oh, that was odd movement on our hands there. And yeah, look at this. Hello. It's we got hand tracking to kind of work, but it's like it's a little finicky, as you can see. Um, so we don't know. We might ditch it. But with that said, yeah, thank you for coming here tonight, dear kindred. We're going to be doing another drawing stream. Now, we did do a drawing stream earlier today. We drew the first emote for our subscribers. Let's see if I can put it in the chat here. It's this one. It is. And we kind of realized upon releasing it that you can't really see it very well. We should have drawn it with thicker outlines and less details, probably. So, it's live and learn. We know that now going in. And yeah, we're going to basically rework this first emote from scratch. That's what we're starting with tonight. You may notice that we don't have any background music. That is because despite specifically picking out a copyright-free stream of music, our last stream got muted by Twitch. So that sucks. We haven't quite figured out what the best solution to this is yet. But yeah, we might just have to go for video game music and hope that's fine. But for some reason the background here isn't updated. Should be live in capital letters in the hashtag down there. Huh, that's odd. Pretty sure it's updated in the. No, wait. Is it not updated anywhere? Why is that? One second. Stream overlay. That one, right? There we go. Now it's fixed. Did our skin go a bit grayer? It did. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, so we actually had we did a bit of an update to our model. Fixed up our skin a little bit so it doesn't have this very orange hue to it, and it's not quite as light, bright rather, than it was before. As it was always the intention for it to be a little gray, and yeah, now we have that working, which is good. We also had to do an update to our skin before we got the whole motion tracking thing working, because the motion tracking thing had some issues with our arms that were clipping. So we had to update our model regardless. So that's why that happened. See, I wonder. Hmm. Might just turn off the hand tracking for now. Not gonna need it right now anyway. Swaying is less now as well. Yeah, sort of. Like, as you can see now, we're not like going all over the place as we're turning around. Um, we actually we switched to the newer version of the Magic Mirror. We also bought the actual full version instead of using the free version. We're not sure that actually affected the body tracking. That's mainly for hand tracking, but it has helped a bit with the swaying. Let's see, what video game do we want to listen to the music of? Something that's just chill and nice to listen to. Um, let's just go chill video game music. Bet there's a playlist here. Relaxing video game music for 3 hours. That's a good one. Uh, oh, here's an even better one. Video game study lounge. It's an actual live stream they're doing of just video game music. That should be fine. If they can stream it, so can we, right? Let's just get that up on the stream. Then we can actually like have the window show what music is playing. That's gonna be nice. Hello, Vampire! Hello, Ian! Welcome to the stream! What are we doing? Oh yeah, right. The window thing. Let's see. We want that one. And we want I'm just working on the cropping. There we go. Make that visible. I was gonna add a link to the actual background music in case anyone wants to check it out. Hopefully we won't get muted by Twitch this time. Can put the just oh come on. There we go. No, there, much better. Gonna throw that into the main screen. good. Everything else should be it's supposed to be good. Of course, as always, let us know if the audio is too low, too high. We will get working on that. So, yeah. So we did a emote earlier today. We did the sort of thinking emoji where the L shape, backwards L shape on the shin, which also is used for the word lesbian in American Sign Language. So we made that our little ASL lesbian emote rather than just a thinking emote. We're gonna redo that now with a little bit more of a like thicker lines, a little bit more of a stylized look to better sell the but to better work as a as an emote on Twitch. Start by getting the finger down. Why is my head going all the way to the right there? Oh, it's probably the webcam that's oddly placed. Hold on. Move it a little bit. And then also move us a little bit. That should be better. I think we made the hands a little. Hold on. This is no good. Instead, do like one knuckle, next knuckle. There we go. Like that. And no, that's the wrong angle on the thumb. It goes like that. Much better. The nails will be visible, so let's put that there. Oh yeah, our nails have also been updated, by the way. If you see on our little, if you look at our hand right now, well, on our stylus, you can see we have red nails now, matching the hue of our tie. That was something we meant to do like ages ago, but only got around to it on a new updated model. That should work for the hand. What we're doing right now is just building up a sketch layer by layer to make sure that we get all the details we want in visible this time. I have the hair like this. Oh, some Mario 64. Not the biggest fan of Mario 64 as a game, but it has really nice music. Hello, Jeb! Well, so far we're sketching, and nothing's gone wrong yet. Hopefully that will remain the case. Gonna try and get a better AI shape this time as well. Oh! Maybe we should have the knuckles coming a little closer to a little further away from the body, like there instead. Would probably look a little better. Maybe extend the finger just a little bit to make like compensate for that. Yeah, that should work much better as an emote than the one we have. It's more stylized, but that might be just what you need for this kind of thing. So let's get going on the actual line art. Do you want to use the thickness we're already using? I think that's gonna work pretty well, actually. Yeah, let's go with that. We should have all the colors saved from last time. We don't have to bring up a new palette, which is nice. Let's see. No, although. God. Getting like the kind of smile line is always tricky. Actually, let's change the setting a little bit. We want the... I'm thinking we want... That would be a little better. I'm still really getting the fall if I want. Hold on. That's a little better. Maybe the size is a bit too big though. Brush settings is always tricky. Maybe it's not the tilt we need to change though. Maybe it's might actually be the pen pressure. So then let's go. What if we do like a little curve on it? Like that. Oh, that's much smoother on the outline. That's good. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Now we can actually start on the details then. Oh, this is yeah, Forest Temple. Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time. Wow. Can't believe it's called Zelda 64. That's because I've been watching too many videos about the development of the game. Of course, it was called Zelda 64 when it was first announced. In fact, Zelda might be like the series, like the mainstream series at least, with like the most, shall we say, placeholder, like the longest placeholder titles, longest lasting placeholder titles. Because like Zelda 64 was the name for Ocarina of Time up until pretty late in development. Which makes sense because they didn't like add the actual time travel bit until pretty late in development. And in the last year of development, if I recall correctly. And it was in development for 3 years, so like, of course it wouldn't be called Ocarina of Time before that. But we can't get this line right. That much better. There's also like Breath of the Wild wasn't called Breath of the Wild until like, let's say like a year away from launch. Before that it was just like, oh, the new Zelda. And the upcoming one is officially called the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And that's what it's been called for 3 years since announcement. Twilight Princess was announced without a name, Wind Waker was announced without a name. Majora's Mask was announced as just like Zelda side story, Zelda Gaiden. And technically parts of Ura Zelda was included as well, which of course just meant, you know, the other Zelda. I don't need the extra line there. This is a tricky one. Oh yeah, sure, but Riven at least had a name, you know, apart from just the sequel to Myst. It was Riven, the sequel to Myst. And that we like, actually. We actually really like that naming convention. I think it's really cool. Why is it so difficult to get a smart correct? That works. But then they, of course, they ditched that later on. Like, Myst 3 was just Myst 3 Exile, Myst 4 Revelation, Myst 5 End of Ages. Though we did also get the Uru Ages Beyond Myst, so we sort of got it there. We also almost had a Myst 3 called... What's a Myst 4? I forget which number it was being developed under, but there was one of the Myst sequels that ended up being cancelled. It would have been the first one with 3D exploration and 3D models, and it actually looked really impressive for something like from, you know, the early 2000s, late 90s. But they ended up getting cancelled, and that was going to be called Myst Journey to the Denis. Otherworld? No, but something like that. It had a really long title. Adventure Beyond the Denis Underworld. Yes, thank you. In fact, we have written about that in an actual published book. Ultraworld. Yes, that's why I can remember it. Ultraworld. That was the odd word they had. So if you ever buy the book, Unseen 64's book about unreleased games, we have an article on that. We wrote the entry on Myst Adventure Beyond the Neon Ultra World. So we are actually a published author. And now we have some is it Deltarune or Undertale? Is the stream gone? Huh? It's still visible for us. Oh, what? Huh? Oh, we're back? I think we're back. What just happened? That was so odd. Okay, well, as long as it's working now, I guess that's fine. And what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're actually a published author because we wrote about Myst Adventure Beyond the Dini Ultra World in the Unseen 64 published book. What's it called? It's called like unreleased games you've never heard of or something like that. And we were one of the authors of that. Among many other wonderful people who research unreleased and early versions of games. Video games you will never play. Yeah, that sounds about right. When was it published? Because depending on when it was published, it will be easier for us to say whether it, like definitively, whether it's the one that we were in or not. It was the first one that they actually published. I don't know if they published any more since then. I haven't really kept in touch with the old Unseen 64 people, to be perfectly honest. 2016. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. one of those cases where like it was entirely a passion project. Like the money from the book just goes to the publishing costs. So like none of us actually made anything from it. Like not a single person that wrote for it has made any money from it. We just wanted to have a book out about this stuff, and we were kindly invited in to be part of it, and we're very happy with that. Oh, that's much better. That is much better. Oh, I can already see there's gonna be a bleed here. Let's fix that. Thanks, Errol. Actually, let's just do this entirely by hand. Gonna make this easier. I think we were too worried about like having edges on the emote. We made the first one, which really makes no sense because like it's kind of common these days to just have like square emotes. But yeah, this looks much better than the previous one. Kind of odd, this angle right here, like just kind of like a little bit empty there, but like can't really figure out how to work in like an ear shape or anything. So we're just gonna have to deal with that. Let's see. That's the skin tone. Oh wait, no, we should do the white details first. So I always forget the white details. And I regret it later. Actually, hold on. Let's hide that so we can actually see what we're doing. We did, yeah. We tried to do concave cheeks on the last one actually, but like it didn't look right. But we didn't. We haven't tried on this one, so maybe we should. I will do that with the shading. Yeah, we'll do that during the shading section. Face was the word I was actually looking for. I think that's the right color. Yeah, it is. Could be a lot of little gaps to fill in manually as well. Gotta do that after this. Oh, oops. That was... There we go. Well, sunken in cheeks is just what we normally say. Although there is probably like a more specific term for it. Okay, I think we're going to do the basic shading on the eyes on the flat colored layer actually, and then we can leave the glow to the actual shading later. Layer. I think that would probably look best. But we mentioned this on the last stream. But so the software we're using to stream our Surface tablet to our PC for this. It's a little thing called Video Ninja. It used to be called OBS Ninja, which just lets you like stream, your camera, your desktop, whatever, just through a simple web page and access it from whatever. You can use it from your phone. You can use it from a laptop, whatever you need it. That way you can very easily use, for example, your own phone as, for example, a VTuber capture device. Which is awesome. We haven't used it for that yet, though. But it's really impressive how responsive it is. Because our Surface tablet is on the Wi-Fi, right? And our computer is hooked up to the internet. And despite them not being directly linked, this is how fast the response time is. So we're going to move this around now. I'm going to tell you when we move it. We swipe to the right now. Swipe to the left now. It's less than half a second delay. It is amazing. Like, we've never seen something that fast that isn't like locally on the same computer. It's really good. It's free to use. It's what is the website's exact name? It's obs.ninja. So if you ever need something like that, big recommendation from us. It is wonderful. Okay, time for a shading layer. Oh, dearly beloved. One of my favorite video game themes ever. Not really feeling the sunken cheek. Maybe one of them is okay. If we just give it a little bit more detail. No, not feeling it. Oh well. I really ought to stream Kingdom Hearts eventually. Like, don't know, like the entire Kingdom Hearts series or something, because it's just such a great series. Maybe do like something like that. No, it doesn't seem right either. Let's just go with a very simple shading style, since it needs to be visible on the emote and such. Nah, that looks silly. No, wait, that's the actual hair color, isn't it? No, it's slightly different. Yeah. Good. Okay. I don't really have a proper one for this. We didn't do the nails last time. Because they should be a little shiny. Let's do something like. Maybe this one is enough. Yeah, one stroke is enough, actually. Okay, let's give eye color its own layer, because this gets a little trickier. I think we'll try doing the effect that we did for the second eyes we drew last time. Those turned out better than we expected, so let's just go with that for now. We need a bigger brush for this. something about this we're not liking. Can't quite put a finger on it. Let's try it one more time. Let's start. Maybe we do like this instead. It's a little better. It needs to be moved a little bit. Maybe add just a line back to the edges of the eye. The edges of the Can you remember what the black part of the eye is called? It's not the iris, it's what's within the iris. That's a bit much. Pupil, that's it, yes. Thinking maybe we should add like... Maybe we should make the pupil faintly red as well, just to like make it a little more clear. Well, that's not gonna work actually. We need the can't use the magic wand for this. We need lasso. Can I add more things or does it unmark the... No, okay. How do I add... There. Good. Now let's see... We want to copy... So will that paste into a new layer though? Hopefully it will. Yes, it did. Good. good. Like that, maybe? Yeah, that works. Now it's hair time. Okay, let's see. So we want a lighter hair. That's that one. And we want to unmark that. Good. I want some darker shades as well. In there. And now it's time for the fingertip brush. This is where things can go horribly wrong. We need a bigger brush. There's too many black pixels in our hair. That's not good. I have to get rid of those first. Not that many, but they are there. We just... How big is our... We need a bigger eraser. Actually, no, we don't need to do this because we have the pixels locked. Let's do this. All the edges. It will clear away any black pixels that are left from the line art. There we go. I swear, lock transparent pixels is like the most... It really is the artist's best friend, and it doesn't get enough credit. Oh yeah, now we don't get any black stripes in the shading. That's good. This is Silent Hill, right? And the question is, do we want a backdrop for this, or do we just want to leave it like transparent? It's so little, like it's so like the transparent part would be such a tiny part of it that it probably doesn't really make much sense to leave it. Is it episode 5? Oh. It reminds us of Silent Hill 2 soundtrack. This is Animal Crossing, though. That I can tell without looking at the screen. Do we want the shading layer beneath that one? Or above that one? Above. Looks better. Oh. Almost made a big mistake there. Oh shit, we should not have these on this layer. Just realized we want them on this layer. Then we can get them here as well. Without accidentally cutting into the shaded area. This might seem like pointless details. This is a more simplified, stylized drawing, but there's something about leaving eyebrows undetailed that bugs us. Like, no, we want that detail in there. Oh, it looks much better than the last one. Oh, we're really happy with this one actually. We design it, but kind of pointless to design an emote. I mean, we're gonna do it anyway, because we can. So it'll remain in the project file at least. This crown turned out really poorly. Well, there we go. And it's the 1st of December, right? So 1, 12, 21. Oh, one of those rare days that only uses 2 numbers. And that part's not going to be visible in the actual emote. Okay. And just for reference, we're gonna show what the last one looked like for anyone who wasn't here during the first stream or couldn't tell from the small little emote in the chat earlier. Because that was the issue. It was too small. It was too like finely detailed. That's why we did a new one with more stylized and broader strokes and such. So this was the first one. And yeah, this new one is much better. Much better. Like on all fronts, honestly. We're happy we decided to do this over again with a more stylized look. Well, let's actually put it into our emotes. Let's see, we're going to actually remove the first. Can we just maybe edit it without having to remove it? No. Okay, well, we're just going to remove that one then. Okay, cool. It's pending approval. I don't think the last one needed to end approval, but fair enough. Yeah, we're really happy with how the new one turned out. I wonder how long these pending things tend to go. The last one just like popped up instantly. Oh well, I mean, there's no rush. Like, our only subscriber so far is not even in the chat right now, so it really is no big deal. But yeah, that turned out really well. So let's do another one, shall we? Now, I really don't have that much idea for what I would want to have as emotes. So, suggestions are welcome. Oh, hello, Jeb. Now we have 2 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. Did the message actually work for that, by the way? Did the... Oh, what just happened to my arm? Can you see that? It like twisted. That's odd. How did that happen? We don't have the image, we don't have the hand tracking turned on, so hold on. There. Not sure how that happened. The icon screen, good. We should add a latest subscriber thing. One sec. That won't take long to add. The most recent subscriber there. Oh, oops. I want that centered. Does that look right? There we go. Good. Let's see, what emote would we want? Oh, actually, we have an idea for one. We wanted to make a heart that's sort of vampire themed. I'm gonna show you what we mean. Gotta get the heart shape we want. That will probably work. Now we want puncture holes from like teeth on the side. That is the idea. Oh, this is always tricky to get right. Get easy from this angle. Maybe not. Okay, you know what? Much better. God, line corrections can be so tricky. This is Lost Woods, right? Yeah. Or sorry, a song, yeah. Zarya's an underrated character in terms of Ocarina of Time characters, because technically, like, no Ocarina of Time character is underrated. Like, they're Ocarina of Time characters, they're beloved, but Sarah doesn't get enough love compared to the other characters, in our honest opinion. I don't like how this... Hold on, let me change the brush on the eraser. I think that might be part of it. Okay, that's not good at all, actually. We need to have it... We need to have hardness on full. Oh, I know what's going wrong with the brush. Hold on. Or the eraser. Or not, actually. No, this is so accurate. Odd. Much better. Still not super fond of the shape of the heart here. A little... It's not round enough. We want it to look... We want the heart itself to look as cuddly and cute as possible. Like... In part because, I mean, that looks nice, but also because it offsets the actual bite marks. Gives a little bit of Gapmo into it. Gapmo. Always put like... Make sure we have that. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. How does that keep happening? Hold on. There's gotta be some setting we've got wrong. Like, you don't get it. Like, what causes that? Is it... Oh, it's when we use the keyboard. What? Why? Oh, wait, hold on. I think we might know. Okay, hold on. Boom. And we're gonna add a visible keyboard. And, wait, no. The keyboard is over here. Why is our arm backwards? That makes no sense. Like... What? Something with this? Well, let's just reset that one. Oh, there we go. And that works again. So odd. We just reset a few settings, so hopefully that will... Hopefully that will help. There. I hope that shouldn't happen again. I wonder if these details will actually be too small. Hold on. We know exactly how to handle this. Oops. They should probably be a little closer together, actually. Yeah, that looks a bit more accurate. This color is temporary, by the way. We just needed something as a base. We're thinking maybe a white heart or a pink heart. Like the white will make the blood stand out, which is good. But it might look a little odd. Oh, some good Chrono Cross music. Nice. Perfect, considering we have an upcoming Chrono Cross remaster. I mean, sorry, that hasn't been announced yet. It's just been leaked like 3 times. Would this look better as white? Oh, what did the arm do there? Hello. God. Hand tracking is... Honestly, the finger tracking is pretty good. Like, look at this. Peace. But we can't turn the hand around, because we can't give anyone a finger except ourselves. Yeah. Let's see, what this look like if we made it white instead? Hold on. There. Oh yeah, that looks better actually. So we're gonna redraw the holes entirely because we stretched them out earlier. Before we do that, we're just gonna fix some of the missing parts. Okay. You can't really see the full name of the music. Hold on. You can fix that. There we go. Yeah, to get back to what we were talking about before we were fixing our arm. The Chrono Cross remaster that was leaked. It's probably going to be announced pretty soon. Looking forward to that. We really like Chrono Cross. We know it's not as popular as Chrono Trigger, but personally, we actually prefer Chrono Cross. Can't really say why exactly. We just, I don't know. We enjoyed it more than we did Chrono Trigger. Though we still do, of course, like love Chrono Trigger. Like Chrono Trigger is a great game, but for us personally, Chrono Cross, I don't know. It just hit home slightly more for us for whatever reason. Yeah, we're hoping the remaster can actually, like, I don't know, revitalize Chrono Cross in a way. Or maybe the entire Chrono IP. But like the people who maybe fell off it the first time around because it wasn't as good to them as Trigger was, maybe give it another chance. It's a really cool game. It would also be nice if they give it a new translation, like they did Saga Frontier. They didn't really change much with the new Saga Frontier translation, but there are some new stuff in there, and like it's better. It's like the changes made to it have made the localization better. Not because the original localization was bad. Most of Square's early localizations were actually pretty good, all things considered. Especially when you consider like the difficulties of translating games back then, like all the various limitations they were under, and you know, inability to talk to like the original devs and all those things. But it's still nice to see them being able to like update translations. That's why we wish they would update the translation for Final Fantasy VII. Like, sure, just the remake now, but the remake is kind of its own thing. And honestly, if there's one translation of early Square that's like really bad, at least that's still around, it's Final Fantasy VII. Like when like people talk about how like complicated the story of Seven is and how difficult it is to understand, but it really isn't. It's just poorly told in English. Like, yeah, it's not like the simplest video game story out there, no, but it's also not like actually difficult. Like, it is no more odd than most RPG stories. And it's a shame that like because of the rather poor translation, it has this reputation of being like just incredibly convoluted and difficult to understand, when it really it's just kind of standard RPG fare. It's kind of the opposite of Kingdom Hearts, actually. Like Kingdom Hearts is people talk about how Kingdom Hearts is difficult to grasp, like it's needlessly complicated. It really isn't. It's just kind of that it uses a lot of in-universe terminology. And once you learn that terminology, it's not that difficult to follow along what happens. Now, there's a lot of things that happen. And that's just a lot of story to like actually pick up on. But it's not actually like difficult. I've said this before, but like Kingdom Hearts is like basically a Star Wars. Like if you can understand the plot of Star Wars, and by that we mean the first 3 original trilogy films and the prequel trilogy, because those are the 3 that Kingdom Hearts is very clearly inspired by. In fact, we used to say that Kingdom Hearts was like the Disney Star Wars, but then Disney bought Star Wars, so that joke doesn't really work anymore. But once you start realizing that, like, okay, worlds are basically planets, and heart is basically the light side of the Force, and darkness is just the dark side of the Force, then the entire franchise just becomes very easy to digest, provided you've already seen Star Wars. It is that simple. People really get bent out of shape about it because it's like, oh, they use all these like big words and like, oh, they keep repeating the word heart and darkness over and over. It's like, yeah, well, they keep repeating the Force as well in Star Wars, and no one seems to mind it there. Then, of course, there's some people that just don't like it because it's Final Fantasy and Disney characters merged together, which, you know, I mean, those people are never going to come around on it. No, that shading doesn't look good at all. Well, I wouldn't say it removed it, but it did. It did not have much of it, no. But that was already like kind of never the focus. I mean, do realize that did put some people off that liked it because of the Final Fantasy inclusion. But like, Nomura actually talked about this in an interview. That like, when Kingdom Hearts came out, like Final Fantasy crossover things were kind of rare. Like there hadn't really been any apart from Cloud appearing in Final Fantasy Tactics, and Cloud, Tifa, and Barret appearing in Erguise. Like that was it. There was no Final Fantasy All-Star brand going on. But now there is. And as such, he's not as interested in including the Final Fantasy cast as much, and instead wants to focus on, you know, the actual Kingdom Hearts characters. Now this did kind of backfire a little bit, and that's probably why we got to meet Aerith, Cid, and Squall again in the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. But I mean, it does. I mean, we do get what he's getting at. Oh, that's the wrong layer. We actually had a Final Fantasy dream earlier. Specifically, we had a dream about the launch of Endwalker, the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion. Or no, it wasn't the launch of it, it was like pre-launch. And we were like setting up our characters to be ready for launch. But like a bunch of changes had suddenly been made to like various systems in the game, including the UI. So we couldn't figure out how to access our gear sets, and it was like giving us a total panic. That's the kind of dreams that we have, apparently. Right, which layer is that? Why didn't it... Okay, no, it is... Okay. Oh, actually, it's probably easy to just do this. So that was already good. Maybe we should like maybe make a crown or something on it. Is that maybe too much? I mean, it's not. It can. It's not too much to like just see what it looks like, I guess. That probably works actually. Oh. So we actually really don't like Skyward Sword, which is what this music is from, but we love this theme. Might have mentioned this before, but we haven't really liked a Zelda game since Twilight Princess. Well, we did like some spin-offs. We liked Hyrule Warriors, the first one. The second one was okay as well, just it runs like shit on the Switch, which is really embarrassing considering it's a first-party title. Then again, Breath of the Wild also runs like shit, so I guess that's not surprising. Like, people give the Pokemon games crap for like anything they can possibly complain about in terms of performance or like glitches or anything. But then you have Breath of the Wild, like the big flagship title for the Switch, and it's just god damn, like the game almost never runs at like a stable frame rate, and just constantly has slowdowns and hiccups and like, oh, you blow something up. Well, the game is pausing now because it has to figure out what it's doing. Yeah, we haven't like. I mean, part of it we haven't really played all of them. To be perfectly honest, we haven't played the 2D ones, or rather the top-down ones. Like we haven't played. Well, we haven't played all of the top-down ones, rather. But the thing is, like, we're not that into the top-down ones much we are the 3D ones. So even if we were to like those, like we probably wouldn't seek out buying them. We considered buying Link's Awakening just for nostalgia's sake, but you know, Nintendo games are expensive, and we didn't like Link's Awakening that much. And Hyrule Wars is Omega Force, yeah, but it's still a first-party published title, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo is like assisting in development of it. We do want to get the first Hyrule Warriors for Switch. We only played the Wii U and 3DS versions. The 3DS version is god awful. Like the 3DS version, like saying that the 3DS version runs at like 15 frames per second is probably giving it like too much credit. It is embarrassingly bad. And honestly, that was one of the first things we noticed with Link's Awakening, the remake. Like, it is more stable than Breath of the Wild or Hyrule Warriors 3DS, or Age of Calamity. But it still has plenty of slowdown issues. And again, this is Zelda. It's like the flagship series that isn't Mario. And yeah, it's Hyrule Wars the first was one. Yeah, Linkle, but only in the 3DS and Switch versions. The Wii U version didn't have her. Like, she was a concept for the Wii U version, but didn't make it in. And people loved her so much that they put her in the 3DS port. And then they also put out a patch that you play as her in the Wii U version if you own the 3DS version. But the Switch version has her. Yeah, Linkle was awesome, and it makes zero sense that they didn't just make it so that you could play as Link and Linkle in Breath of the Wild. Like if you're not gonna go all the way and make Link gender neutral, just give us a gender choice at least. They even designed Linkle for Breath of the Wild, like a version of Linkle. They showed like concept art of the female Link, and it would have been awesome. Like this. Like, yeah, you would have had to re-record some voice lines to mention both Link and Linkle, because Zelda has voice acting now. That's something it needed, apparently. But, like, it'd be worth it, we think. Linkle's awesome. This looks pretty good, right? Yeah, we're happy with that. Sure. Like, there's been some really good fan mods. That's been going back for a while. I mean, you had the dad that made a mod for, I think it was her dad at least. The dad that made a mod for Wind Waker that changed all the text to refer to Link as a girl, so that because his daughter wanted to play as a girl, but that wasn't an option. And you know, fans, gamers on the internet got so pissed off at this because apparently modding a game to make it the way your kid wanted is suddenly a bad thing. I thought people loved mods and freedom of choice in games. God, that was a whole mess. Okay, it's uploading to a cloud drive. That one's also on the pending. Dun, 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 dun. The hand tracking can't really keep track of which hand is which is why it does this when I only have one hand up. I mean, that's a fair point, Jed. Like, yeah, people would not get into video games if they wanted to be happy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. We had a really bad cut in the palm of our hand that led to like two of our fingers basically being like inoperable for a while, and yeah, it was hell. See, we don't really have any other ideas for emotes right now. How long have we been streaming for? 2 hours. Hmm. I mean, we do, but you know, online communities really makes you feel like that's not how you're supposed to enjoy video games because people just complain all the time. And to be fair, we're someone who like complains a lot too, but like we still play video games because we love video games and we play them to enjoy them. You know, like even like when we and Polly played Sonic 06 last week, like that game is bad in a lot of ways, but we love it. You know, like we do love playing that game. It's a lot of fun. Um, it's it's a very frustrating game at times, but it's still a lot of fun. Like we get happy from playing it, and it's fun to talk about like the development history of it. And similarly, Pokemon. Like we love Pokemon. We do not comprehend why the Pokemon fan base is so incredibly upset about Pokemon all the time. Like, yes, the games are not perfect. Yes, there are ways they can be improved in, and there are definitely things that Game Freak and Nintendo and the Pokemon Company should get to working on. We agree, but it's not, you know, worth the constant toxicity and anger about what is ultimately very fun little kids games, you know? We don't say that like as a bad thing. No, them being kids games is a good thing. Like kids games should exist, obviously, and we got into them and started loving them because they were kids games in the first place. Kids games that have always appealed to both adults and children. As we mentioned, I think it was yesterday, that like our mother got into Pokemon in her late 50s. You know, despite it no longer being good, apparently. Which is ridiculous. That's two emotes done. We will call it there for tonight, actually, because we have I have a Pokemon stream tomorrow. That's probably gonna run a bit long because it also coincides with the servers for Final Fantasy XIV shutting down, which means that, well, we'll have time to kill. I mean, that's fine. Like, people obviously don't have to be into Pokemon or enjoy them. Like, that'd be ridiculous. But, you know, everyone has their own favorite games and different points in the history of the series where they end up enjoying it, if they enjoy it. Like, yeah, Sword and Shield is when you fell in love with it, and that's awesome. Like, we love Sword and Shield. It's what reignited our love for Pokemon. Like, in our case, like, we really liked Pokemon, you know, from the very start. From the very start, we liked Pokemon. Like, we got into Pokemon in the late 90s, and we just sort of fell out of Pokemon in the early 2010s. Like, after X and Y, to be exact. And Sword and Shield, you know, yeah, despite flaws, for certain, it just captured what we love about Pokemon so much that it just brought us back, and now we're full-time Pokemon fans again. So why not? Like, yeah, okay. So the game could have had prettier trees. It could have had more challenging, difficult game content. Yes, I mean, we don't really go to Pokemon for, like, a hard challenge. If we want to do that, we'll play Nuzlocke, you know? But, yeah. Stream the wait up to Endwalker for the moment. Oh, you know, we don't know if we'll be streaming Endwalker. We might. But because we're playing with our FC and our already established character, it might be odd to stream, you know? Since we haven't streamed, you know, the first 8 years. First 8.5 years. Or however long it was since I remember one came out. On this channel. But we'll consider it. We have Shin Megami Tensei at home. Yeah, that too. Although Shin Megami Tensei is like, that's a series that frustrates us. Like, we really, really wish we were like into SMT5 because it looks really good. It looks really good, and it seems really cool. From what we've been told, it doesn't seem to have any like gross content in it, which is, you know, that's always a plus when it comes to Atlas games. But like, we're sorry, it's 2021, current year argument. We can still not have like a basic gender choice for our protagonist. Like, it's cool that they cast a non-binary actor as the English voice for the protagonist. Casey... I don't remember their name now, sorry. But that doesn't change that the character is still, you know, boy, who's referred to with he, him pronouns. Or it's a merger of two people that becomes one boy. A very effeminate, androgynous boy, sure, but like, they could have just gone all the way and make it neutral. But they could have included some kind of pronoun option. Like, Mugello, yes, thank you. But they didn't, no, because it's SMT, and it goes back to what someone who worked on SMT said like a decade ago or something. They were asked about like why all the protagonists in the main games have been male. Which is not entirely true, because there is actually a split protagonist of Megami Tensei, the first one. But apart from that, you've only seen female protagonists in the spin-offs, like SMTF. The story is extremely gender essentialist. Yeah, that checks out for Atlas, to be honest. But like, so they were asked about this, like, well, how come there hasn't been like a female protagonist or an option for gender in like main games, or even in like SMT. What was the sort of main game that was not really a main game? Strange Journey. And they said something akin to like, oh well, the SMT series is about survival, like these strong characters that are survivors, and we don't feel women fit into that. Like I'm like we're paraphrasing, but it was something like that. And we were just like, you don't think women are survivors? Like that is a really bad view of like gender you have there, my dude. Like, admittedly, that was like um over a decade ago, so it might have like the mentality behind it might have changed since then. But you know, we see stuff like SMT4 having a male lead, SMT4 Apocalypse still only a male lead, Strange Journeys re-release still only a male lead, SMT5 still only a male lead. The various like sibling franchises like Devil Survivor, male lead, Devil Survivor 2, male lead, Persona 5, male lead, Persona 4, male lead. it's like, you know, we're not saying you have to like have women playable in every single game ever, although in a lot of games cases they really should have the option, or just stick to a neutral character if it doesn't matter. But Atlas, you're not even trying, you know? Yeah, P3P Portable has a female protagonist. Persona 2, one of the two Persona 2 games had a female protagonist. Persona Q2, the second Persona Q Mystic Dungeon thing, had actually brought back the Persona 3 female main character. But she's like explicitly the non-canon protagonist, which sucks, because she's much better. Oh, we have so many thoughts on Persona 3. God, like, we love Persona 3, but we also hate Persona 3. Like, it's... But yeah, SMT-If actually has a female protagonist as the canon pick. Like, there is a gender choice, but the female one is the official, like, this is the one that happened. And she appears in Persona 2 as well. There was another game that had a canon female protagonist, but we can't remember which one it was now. Was it SMT9? No, it probably wasn't 9. But yeah, they're... Yeah, on one hand you're right. Them, like, Atlas not trying tend to go better than them trying. But at the same time, that's not a good excuse, you know? That is really not a good excuse. Like, get better, you know? Like, improve. You can improve. Gonna put our emotes up here so people can see them. Yeah, I mean, but and again, like it's easy to harp on Atlas for this, and it's very much rightful to do so, because they are among the worst when it comes to this. But it's not like RPGs in general are great about centering women. You know, like, we actually have a list on our backlogged account of like every RPG with a female protagonist that is either the official main pick or the only pick. Or if there is no official pick, it's the like default choice of whatever else you have. Yeah, Compile Heart. I mean, just compile. Monogatari was 1990. Arl Naja is originally an RPG protagonist, not the Puyo Puyo protagonist. But yeah, like, you can do better. But like, it's really rare. Like, we're actually gonna go into our list right now. Like, we have a list of RPGs with female protagonists, and it's like RPGs. It's not just Japanese role-playing games. It's RPGs, period. And 237 games That's how many we've counted. And the first one came out in 86. So that is 35 years. 237 games. Consider the thousands of RPGs that have released, you know? And what's really sad is, like, it's not even a case of, oh, it's much better now than it used to be. Like, in terms of pure numbers it is, but that's solely because of, like, franchises devoted to female characters like Neptunia. And the Atelier games. But those are, like, specifically the girl franchises. If you don't count them, we're not getting more RPGs with women as the protagonists now than we were in the late 80s. Hell, the late 80s were arguably, like, better about it, because we had Phantasy Star, we had the Valkyrie series, we had Ghost Lion, we had Madame Monogatari, technically the first part of Madame Monogatari released in 1989. Frey got her own game. Return of Ishtar actually had the princess, the first character, instead of Gilgamesh. Like, that was all in the late 80s. And, you know, Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy series. We went through every single Final Fantasy title. Spin-offs, main series, mobile games, like all of them. And we, like, checked off which ones had male protagonists, ambiguous protagonists that are still defaulted to male, and then female protagonists. Wanna know how many female protagonists there are in total across all of Final Fantasy, the entire Final Fantasy brand? It's 3. You know how many games? It's 4. Now. No, sorry. No, I got the numbers wrong. It's 4 female protagonists and it's 5 games. So you might be wondering, like, which ones are they? You could probably name a few, like Terra, 506, of course, the first character in the party. So that counts as the default choice. And then, of course, there is Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2, that's 2. Lightning, Final Fantasy 13, that's 3. And of course, she also appears in Lightning Returns, so that's 4 games, 3 protagonists. I do not count Sarah because she's split protagonist with Noelle, but I mean, you can count her. It doesn't make the number still doesn't become, like, particularly impressive if you include split protagonists. But we didn't for our list, because if you do, you also have to count the World of FF protagonists, for example. But okay, so we're up to 3: Terra, Lightning, and Juna. Can you name the last one? The last one, the female protagonist. That is not optional. That is not a shared co-lead with a male character. That is not ambiguous. You can't, right? Right? And that's not a knock, because we couldn't either. We couldn't either until we sat down and went through all the games. And that's despite us having played the one that this character is a main character from. It is the main character from Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, My Life as a Dark Lord. The WiiWare exclusive sequel to Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, My Life as a King. Nope. After Year's main character is the son of Cecil. And Dirge of Cerberus is Vincent. Yeah. What's her name? Her name is like... Oh, we actually kind of... I can't remember her name now off the top of our head. It's like Chloe or something? No, it's not Chloe, but it's something on C. Let's check. Yeah, the Wii Shop channel is offline. The game is no longer available. Yeah, Mira. It's Mira. It's not on C at all. But yeah, Mira is the missing protagonist that people don't know about. And she's actually she was the protagonist before Lightning. That game came up before Final Fantasy 13, so she is the third female Final Fantasy character. Lightning's the fourth and final one. And of course, Final Fantasy 13 came out 12 years ago. We haven't had a single one since then. And Final Fantasy is better at this than most franchises. You know, wanna know how many female protagonists Dragon Quest has? It's one. And that's only because Dragon Quest Monsters 2 split up its male and female protagonists into two separate versions to cash in on the Pokemon style split. Which means there's a girl version. That's the only reason. All the other ones are male by default, or just male. Yeah, that's Dragon Quest for you. That's a series that's older than Dragon Quest, than Final Fantasy. Phantasy Star started with one female protagonist. How many has it had? One. Yeah, it only the first game. 34 years, only the first game. Now, to be fair, that is in part because Phantasy Star has gone entirely for custom characters in the past 20 years, but whenever they adapt that into something, they make it a male lead. So, yeah. So it's pretty bad. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Smash Bros is another example of like how few women are playable in games. Like, there are so few women in Smash Bros. And like, it's not like they don't have characters to pick from, you know? Yeah, there are some franchises that are like just as long running that have zero, like no female characters to date. It's pretty sad. Like, it feels like such a small thing to like we should have gotten past that by now, you know? Like, female protagonists shouldn't be rare, but they are. Yeah. Oh yeah, so, Star Ocean, since they announced a new Star Ocean. Now, Star Ocean has had 2 games with a split, like, male and female lead. But only one game with an actual set female lead. That was the unlocalized Star Ocean Blue Sphere for Game Boy Color. Yeah, I mean, that is honestly where we sort of fell off a lot of RPGs. Like, we like playing as girls 99% of the time. And, like, you know, you think all these years after Pokemon Crystal and Harvest Moon, Game Boy, which were like, you know, where they started introducing the option for female characters, and that's over 20 years ago now. You think that it would have become standardized for RPGs, but nope. And again, Western RPGs are no better. Like whenever we don't have the whole custom character thing, it's male leads, you know? And if there's a female character, it's a side character, like Ciri in The Witcher 3. And in the few cases that, like, it's very rare for like a custom character to be default as female. Like at best, you get something like BioWare, where they like swap back and forth between male and female as options. Yep, Dragon Quest 3. Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 4 both have it. In Dragon Quest 4 actually has a queer ending if you play as a woman, because you always go back and revive your childhood friend, and it ends on this romantic scene that is intentionally meant to be a romantic moment. And the childhood friend is always the same girl, regardless if you play as the hero or the heroine. Dragon Quest 4 also had the heroine on the cover, which is actually the only game that the heroine is on the cover for. Now the male hero is also on the cover, but still. But like when it comes to stuff like that, I mean, Ultima 3. Ultima 3 came out in 1984, we think. Ultima 3 lets you play as a non-binary character. Like, seriously. Yeah, you're thinking of Summon Knight Sword Crafting Saga, is that it? Both the first and second game actually have queer romance with the female protagonist. It's awesome. In fact, I think maybe did the second game even have it for the male character? It might have. It might have had. But yeah, that's a great GBA title. And yeah, Ultima 3 let you pick male, female, or other as your gender when you create your character. That is unfortunately just hasn't been a thing since then. Like, and like that's in part because like video games are more complicated to make now, and at that in Ultima 3 it was literally just a stat. It was literally just a thing that was written on your character sheet. So that takes zero effort. But you can still do that now. You don't need to make it so the other gender somehow looks different. You can just have that. But yeah. Yeah, no, we've been pointing that out for years. We actually wrote to Richard Garriott, Lord British, who developed it, when he announced Shroud of the Avatar, his Kickstarted RPG, which we helped fund and honestly was not really worth it, but oh well. We actually asked him about this and was like, hey, back in Ultima 3, you allowed people to pick other gender, so you could play as a non-binary hero. Could you put that into Shroud of the Avatar? And he actually said that, like, oh, yeah, that was cool, we'll consider it. Then they never did it. So, yay. Now, it should be mentioned that we do have some progress on this. Some indie games in particular do let you set yourself as non-binary and have taken like all body options into a separate category instead. The upcoming Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, if it ever releases, also does this. So, there is progress being made. It's just very slow, and we still haven't really, like, gotten back to the standard set by Ultima 3 Exodus way back in 1983. Which was also, that was one of the games that, like, introduced us to RPGs. Wow, this became a tangent, didn't it? We can share the list of RPGs with female protagonists, actually. It's obviously not complete, because we keep adding to it whenever we find a new one. But it is pretty packed with the ones that are known, at least. I'm going to just link it in the chat here. There you go. And they're listed in release year order. So first release year, then alphabetical. So it's not release date specifically, just release year. And And that is either preset female protagonists or female default protagonist. So for example, there's a game there, a pretty recent one, I think it's not even out yet. Where is it? On here. They've not added yet, maybe. Yeah, I think we were actually waiting to see what the released version is like, but there's this upcoming RPG called, I want to say Magna Lord, which has a male and female option, but at least going by the promotional material is doing the unusual thing of having the female option be the primary choice and the primary promoted one, the first one that shows up as, you know, in the list and the art and the one that's centered on the cover and all these things. That's cool. Yeah, this tangent has gone on for a while now. I think we just spoke about this for like 25 minutes. That was nice. It was a nice little thing to talk about. Tomorrow is Pokemon. We're looking forward to that. I hope you do as well. Let's see if our emotes have been approved yet or not. No, they have not. Guessing Twitch admins are asleep. Yeah, tomorrow's Pokemon. And we'll see what we do with Endwalker. We might try and stream it. If we don't, then we will also... Well, we won't be streaming much this weekend. We will have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream with Ian. That's gonna be fun. Looking forward to that. Admins are asleep. Post Yuri. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. We certainly did. Please have a good night's rest if it's time for that wherever you live. The sun is rising here in, well, the coming hour, so it's time for vampires to return to their coffins. Take care, dear kindred.